Hello students, welcome back to our next class on heat on this particular chapter. So we had covered up in the previous chapter, we learned about heat, we learned about temperature and we learned how to convert in between different scales. Today we will see about what? We will learn about the different types of thermometer. We will get to see the different kinds of thermometer. Let's start and have a look at our first type. The first and the most important is the clinical thermometer. What is a clinical thermometer? The thermometer that measures the temperature of our body is called the clinical thermometer. So the temperature that of your body that you record when you're in your home is with the help of a clinical thermometer. Construction of clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer has a long narrow glass tube. It has a bulb at one end containing mercury. It has a scale called Celsius scale marked in degrees Celsius. So the clinical thermometer that you have in your house has a long narrow glass tube and it has a bulb which is a shiny portion at one end which contains mercury. The shiny glossy liquid metal that you see inside the thermometer that helps you take your temperature is basically mercury. And the scale that is used is the Celsius scale marked in degrees Celsius. It reads from temperature 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So the clinical thermometer at your home has a range of 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius because temperature usually does not rise above 42 degrees Celsius or goes below 35 degrees Celsius in our case. And if you see, there is a small constriction called a kink near the bulb. Why is a kink present? It prevents the mercury level from falling down, so that when you take the temperature of your body and you take it out of your mouth, the temperature is still shown the way it was when it was inside your mouth. If the small kink or constriction was not there, then the temperature will start dropping, will start falling down, and you will not get the exact temperature of your body. The normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees Celsius. Now let us have a look at how you will read a clinical thermometer. First and foremost, you have to wash the thermometer with an antiseptic solution. Why? Because the bulb which is entering your mouth might have a lot of germs and microorganisms sticking to it. So if you directly take it inside your mouth, then you might have certain diseases, you might have a fever. So in order to prevent that, the first thing that you have to do is you have to wash your thermometer bulb with an antiseptic solution. Now you are to hold it horizontally and give a few jerks. Why are you giving a few jerks? To bring the level of mercury below 35 degrees Celsius. So in order to maintain your reading properly and to get the correct body temperature, the level of mercury has to drop below a certain limit. So the jerks are given in order to do that. Next is, you are not supposed to hold the bulb. The moment you hold the bulb, the temperature starts being recorded and you don't want that to happen. So the first thing after using antiseptic solution and giving a few jerks is not to hold the bulb portion. Then what you have to do is you have to take the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. Under your tongue is where you place your thermometer so that you get the body reading properly. After 1 minute, take out the thermometer and note the reading. Read the upper meniscus. Now what is the upper meniscus? We will learn over here. See, I have given a picture. This lower meniscus is basically, if you have taken a bottle of water, you will see that the level of water forms a crescent shaped structure. The topmost level forms a crescent shaped structure. This crescent shaped structure is called the meniscus, and since it forms a structure like this, it is called the lower meniscus. We read the water level from here. But in case of mercury, it is just the opposite of water. It is the opposite of water. The crescent shape is just the opposite. And you have to measure it over here. So the temperature is measured from the upper meniscus. After 1 minute, whatever temperature you are seeing in the thermometer is your body temperature. But while handling a clinical thermometer, there are certain precautions you need to take. First and foremost, you have to bring the level of temperature below 35 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, the temperature will not be recorded properly. You are not supposed to hold the bulb because in case you hold the bulb, then the temperature will automatically start getting recorded. You have to handle it with extreme care because the glass is harmful if it breaks, and the mercury is poisonous. So you always have to handle it with care and use antiseptic solution in order to protect yourselves from any sort of diseases and germs. Now let us have a look at the laboratory thermometer. So in order to understand this thermometer, you have to see something. See, the mercury is placed over here, the mercury thread is over here, and the kink, the constriction, is over here. In laboratory thermometer, this kink portion is missing. So first let's get to see what a laboratory thermometer is. A laboratory thermometer has a long narrow glass tube. It is much longer than a clinical thermometer. It has a bulb at one end containing mercury. So the same liquid metal is used. The bulb contains mercury. Mercury is a liquid at room temperature, and it is used in a thermometer because of various reasons which we will learn in a while. It has a scale marked in degrees Celsius. The range of a laboratory thermometer is generally from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Note the temperature properly. The temperature is beyond the range of the freezing point and boiling point of water. Freezing point of water was 0 degrees Celsius, if you remember from the previous class, and boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. So the laboratory thermometer has a range beyond that of the freezing point and boiling point of water. This is done so that a wide range of thermometer temperatures can be taken with the help of the same instrument. Now let us look at this particular activity where we are measuring temperature with the laboratory thermometer. So what are we going to do? We are going to take some normal tap water in a beaker, and we will dip the thermometer in the water so that the bulb of the thermometer does not touch the bottom of the sides of the beaker. So the thermometer has to be inserted in such a way such that the bulb does not touch the bottom of the glass or the sides, otherwise it will not record the temperature of the water. It will start recording the temperature of the glass container. So you have to keep it in the water itself. We have to hold the thermometer vertically. Vertically means in a straight line, like this, how this person is holding it. The mercury level you will soon see it will rise. So the mercury level will start rising, recording the temperature. We will have to wait till the level of mercury becomes steady. Steady means it becomes fixed. Now the level of mercury will be noted, and this will be the temperature of your water sample. Now, a very important thing that you have to do while doing this particular experiment is you will have to measure the temperature while your entire thermometer is already dipped in the water, because since it doesn't have a kink, the moment you take out the laboratory thermometer from this particular container, the level of the mercury will start dropping. This is happening because there is no kink which was present in the clinical thermometer. That is why I said, see, in the clinical thermometer you will see a kink, and the kink is preventing the movement of mercury back even when you are taking it out of your mouth. But in case of the laboratory thermometer, the kink is missing and the mercury level starts dropping automatically when you take it out of the water. These are a few differences between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. First is the scale. So clinical thermometer has a scale from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, or from 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. We can convert it using the conversion formulas. Laboratory thermometer has a higher scale from -10 degrees to 110 degrees Celsius. Mercury level does not fall on its own because a kink is present in the bulb to prevent the fall of mercury. Like I said, the clinical thermometer has a kink, and the kink does not allow the mercury level to fall down even after you're taking it out of your mouth. But in case of a laboratory thermometer, the kink is missing, so the mercury level falls on its own and no kink is present. Temperature can be read after removing the thermometer from armpit or mouth because of the kink. The kink doesn't allow the temperature to fall. But in this case, temperature is read while keeping the thermometer in the source, such as liquid or anything, like we saw in the experiment or activity. So the thermometer has to be kept in the source while recording the temperature. Otherwise, due to absence of kink, the temperature will fall down. The lower the mercury level, the jerks are given. So in order to lower the mercury level, jerks are given because the kink does not allow the level to fall down. But in the laboratory thermometer, No need to give jerk as the mercury level falls down automatically. Kink is not there, so you don't have to give a jerk to lower the mercury level. Clinical thermometer is used to take body temperature. Laboratory thermometer is used in the laboratory to take temperature. So these are few differences between clinical and laboratory thermometer which all of you should memorize and remember. Very, very important. Now let us have a look at why is mercury used as a thermometric liquid. Very, very important question. Why are we using mercury? Why not any other metal? Why not any other liquid? Well, the reasons are, even though mercury is highly toxic, it is still used as a thermometric liquid. Why? Because it is shiny and can be seen from the outside of the glass tube. It is extremely shiny, so you can see it from the outside of the thermometer as well. It does not stick to the glass. As it does not stick to the glass, the temperature reading and jerking in order to lower the temperature is also done without any hassle. And it expands uniformly as the temperature rises. So as it does not stick to the glass, it expands uniformly, it rises uniformly as the temperature rises. Now let us have a look at some other thermometers. First is the digital thermometer. The digital or electronic thermometer are preferred over conventional mercury thermometer because they are easy to read as it gives LCD display of the temperature of the person. They are also safe as they are mercury free. So what are the advantages of digital thermometer? First, they are easy to read. Second, they are safe as they are not having the toxic material like mercury in them. And the next one is maximum minimum thermometer. These thermometers are used to measure daily temperatures to prepare weather reports. So usually the weather department uses these kinds of thermometers. Now we will complete till the different kinds of thermometers today. In the next class we will learn about the three different types of heat transfer, namely conduction, convection and radiation. Till then, keep learning your chapters, and if you have any questions you can post it in the comment section below. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.